Sorry. For no one that's here, I had to step away and get my water. It is 10 o'clock. It's very late, so I'm just going to get right into this. But I did take a nap today, and that's right, I've reached old person status where I'm now taking naps in the middle of the day. It'll probably be a little bit quiet in the chat tonight. Got Chemo streaming some games, and most people would think would rather watch Chemo because he's a little better, and people like that kind of stuff. But such is life. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for spring tournament. I had somebody suggest to me the Domantas versus Count series, and I will take a look at these recorded games. Hopefully they don't suck. So this is part of the spring tournament, and okay, just making sure everything's looking good. So it's a best of 3. This is probably in the round of maybe 16 or round of 32 maybe. I'm not actually really sure. I'm just watching these because somebody said they were really good games. So I don't know which games or which order. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, unless somebody, well, I guess somebody might win 2 games. Well, hopefully we don't get that. But yeah, so best of 3 here. Looks like we do go to 3 games. What a surprise. Anyway, we will just dive right into this, like into water. Okay, let me pause this real quick and get this moved so it's not in the way of crap. Okay. We've got Domantas as Hades versus Count von Count as Isis. I can see already why someone would have suggested this, because Domantas is playing Hades, and that's not something you see a whole lot of. Ooh, man, nice hunt back over there. And then he's also got, he being Count up here on the top, it's found his boar. So, ooh. And it is the double hunt spawn, it looks like. Yeah, so Ghost Lake, a little bit interesting in that the secondary hunt can either spawn in 2 packs or just 1 pack. And obviously here we've got the 2 packs. Don't know if it really benefits one of these gods over the other. Might maybe be a little bit more helpful for the Hades as opposed to the Isis, because really the Isis just needs enough hunt to get to heroic, and then after that not a big deal if there's a ton of hunt. But yeah, definitely this 1 pack would be enough to get to heroic. But yeah, this is quite a bit of hunt. They also spawn towards the top end of the amount. I think it's like 5 to 8 or 5 to 9 that can spawn. So yeah, it's quite a bit of hunt. And we've got the Hades Domantas down here in the bottom. Overall, I would say Count is the better player, but Count has been inactive for a while and recently came back, so he's probably not at his full level. But still pretty good Isis player. I think he used to play Norse more so than Isis, but he kind of went to the dark side. And here he is playing Isis. Domantas, he's kind of a player that last year you probably wouldn't have really heard anything about because he really wasn't that good. Just average, and even now, pretty decent. Still not like an expert at all or anything like that, but he's gotten a lot better, at least over the last year. So you should be able to at least hopefully see some competitive games here, which I'm sure they are since they were suggested to me. And what kind of relics we got? Siege weapons cheaper and villagers cheaper. So especially the villager relic, the cheaper villies can save just a little bit of, a penny saved is a penny earned, as they tell me. I think it's just 5 food cheaper per villager, so it's not like anything totally phenomenal, but when you figure you might get it and train 50, 60 villagers, you know, that's some food, not a ton. I think it's a little bit overrated overall, but not a bad relic. As far as what we're going to see, I haven't talked about strategy at all. I would assume that we'll see the ISIS player do the standard fast heroic. You know, that's kind of what they all do. Kind of ISIS's claim to fame. The Hades player, just not familiar a whole lot with Hades playing. If they're gonna play more like a Poseidon and do a 2-town center heroic, or not, it could be a like you're probably not going to see much of a classical push because there'd just be so little to gain from that other than just an early hero and maybe the second hero just to push off of Hunt and then fall back and take a town center, and then it's just that is the risk. Taking your town center is if the ISIS goes a really heavy aggression, can roll over maybe your town center. And I'm looking at the gold mines. You don't want to be gold starved, and Domantas' gold mines are okay. This one is actually probably pretty above average for Ghost Lake where it's positioned. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to get this town center and also kind of halfway protected with the forest. So I would think with the 2 packs of Hunt, along with some berries, that we'll probably see a little bit of an early hero harass. Maybe. I would think he probably should have made his hero before advancing, but probably some hero harass backed into a town center grab here, I think, and then probably just a military spam, you know, the Doxotes, Hippicon kind of a deal. But yeah, probably maybe should have got his hero out ahead of time to push count off of this forward Hunt. But he is up, and now we are seeing both heroes getting trained. And now, okay, so far things are looking like it's always nice to be right. Does he have this Hunt? Ooh, yeah, he does. He's got it scouted. So everything should really go straight to... Oh. I did not anticipate Count coming forward on his aggression. But the aggression on 3 villagers here, I wouldn't say is worth it. I think he was probably hoping there'd be more. But by going forward with this Pharaoh, he's losing out on 20% empowerment. So even with pushing these villagers off of Hunt, he's losing 20% empowerment on 8 villagers. So he actually probably net lost resources by going forward like that. But on the other hand, he did encourage both heroes to come here, and then the Sphinx came over to slow down the town center. Looks like these guys are building just slightly faster than the Sphinx, but, you know, slowing it down enough, slowing down a villager production. And he's still there, needs to run. There you go. Alright, so did they scout this? Oh, he did not scout that relic. Did Count? He did. Oh, Domantas will find this relic now. He was trying to intercept the Sphinx, but it didn't quite work. And yeah, now they're back here. And Count looks like he's just doing with the 2-town center, or not the 2-town center, the 1-town center heroic. Where is his blacksmith? There it is. He's not up yet, though. This is kind of a late advance, and he's probably going to end up getting pushed off of his Hunt here. Chiron is a pretty solid hero based on his speed. And I don't know where this Pharaoh's going, but he's going to get stuck back there. Really terrible pathing by the Pharaoh. He actually get a little greedy. He's not going to kill the pretty. Well, maybe he will. No, he won't. But he needs to get the Pharaoh. There you go. One more shot will do it. Yep. And he's pushed off of Hunt. These priests came out a little bit too late. And also the fact that his Sphinx was hurt so much, he couldn't come and help out. This is actually a fairly significant loss from Count, who is now just advancing. This is a very slow advance. And because he lost his Pharaoh, he does not have Pharaoh to empower his mining camp. And also kind of a poor villager placement around this mining camp. Really, actually, this house here really screws up his mining camp. Because you can see all the villagers got to come around here, and that's a lot of walking time. Yeah, what's up, Sebji? But yeah, this house here, just kind of scuffing up his mining there. But hey, what uncasting? I am casting the spring tournament. Rex Domantas versus Count. Okay. These are a series somebody suggested to me, so this is the first game. Nobody wants this. Villagers are cheaper relics. So now Count is up. Okay, heroic. And yeah, we got Toxotes, Hippicon, Mass. But I feel like Count was just slowed down too much, getting pushed off his Hunt and losing his Pharaoh, and then probably didn't get nearly as much gold as he could have off of that prosperity due to the fact that, I mean, that's a 20%. Without your Pharaoh, you're losing out on 20% bonus to your prosperity, and that's a couple hundred gold at least just in prosperity. It's nice to get some walls off. I would actually almost like to see him wall this here, because then that does kind of protect his third town center. But Domantas is at his third town center. Kind of actually a poor Migdol placement from Mr. Count in that it does not protect his gold mine, because this gold mine has 300 gold left, and he's going to have to be moving here, but no Migdol there. He might have been afraid of the army harass, but I feel like if he would have made it right away with his Sphinx and Scorpion Man, he could have built it all the way down here. But he's going to run into some problems when it comes to defending, or not really defending, but getting another gold mine, because the other two are way down here, and he's got now 60 gold left. He's might have to use, maybe have to use Ancestor's Eclipse to get this gold mine, and that's kind of the indication of an ISIS loss, is when the ISIS needs to use Ancestor's Eclipse defensively instead of aggressively. It's killing this random villager down here. We have, though, a little bit of a... Okay, actually, if he can surround this and get this Scorpion Man, that is actually significant. I was going to say, I thought maybe he was overacting a little bit to this raid with all of this army, which, if he could get it surround and kill at least the Scorpion Man, it'd be worth it, but... Oh, Scorpion Man needs one more hit. One more hit from Chiron, who's kind of getting slowed down. He's actually got faster speed than the... oh no, the same speed, never mind. But he should be faster. Yeah, he is faster than the Scorpion Man. But yeah, this is a little bit of a army misplacement with Domantas here. And now we have aggression here, which actually... Count should retreat, because actually Domantas beats this. And Domantas is getting a third town center, but I see what Count did here. He knew he actually, if Domantas were to pressure on the gold mine, Count would have had to use Ancestor's Eclipse defensively. So instead what he did is he attacked, even though he had fewer units, with the hope that it would make Domantas go defensive. And it did, which is allowing him his free access to the gold. But still just not enough army, and if Domantas just follows long enough. Just gotta watch out. That's a nice, actually nice Minotaur special on the Scorpion Man there. And just gotta take care. Okay. Yeah. Not a good fight to take from Count. He lost his Sphinx, and then both his Scorpion Men are almost dead. Yeah, gold mine locations are very important. It's usually the transitional one after your first one goes down. The transition to the second one is important. So now Count is gonna have to use Ancestor's Eclipse to defend this gold, unless he wants to just forget about it and just sneak his villagers there. But he's got a lot of idle vills here, and not sure why, if Count isn't going to use Ancestor's Eclipse, why he is fighting this, because this is not a winning fight for him. Or moving his villagers. So he snuck his vills down here so that he wouldn't have to use Ancestor's Eclipse here, but just shouldn't have fought this, because part of the power of the Ancestor's Eclipse is getting the Eclipse on all of your myth units, and he's now lost a Sphinx and 2 Scorpion Man, and he only has 1 Scorpion Man left. Fighting over really locations he didn't even really need to fight, since he was able to sneak the gold mine down here and get this town center. But Domantas been on 3 town centers for quite a while, got pretty good eco upgrades for this point. Now he is running down here. This Chiron will probably peg down this Scorpion Man too. Looks like yes he will, and that's missed that shot. Got that shot, and yeah, he's gonna go down. That hurts, because now he's also been pushed off of this gold mine, and now trying to get this gold mine. So really all Domantas has to do is just kind of effectively flip-flop between sides, and he's got enough to here just to get these villagers idle, so he has to send all the army over here, and actually he could just afford to send this army over here, make these villas idle, come back over here, make these idle, and then just go back and forth, and all this time he'll be getting a better and better eco. Any armory upgrades? Facing Isis or any Egyptian, you always want to get your Pierce armor upgrades. He does not have it yet. He is up Aphrodite, which gets Curse. And he has used Curse and get 3-7 army units and 2 villagers. Still not quite enough to push here, but as soon as he just sends his army over here, Count's going to be in a bit of a bind. Count kind of holding on to Ancestor's Eclipse too long, but he really never had a really good opportune time to use it. But just by not using it, never is going to get any benefit from it, obviously, because he's not casting it. But at this point, he doesn't even have any myth units to use it on, so he doesn't want to use it. Now these villagers are running idle, and he's going to probably try to go down here and get villagers on this gold mine again. But there's just nothing for Count to do here. Really, actually, good play from Domantas there. Just a little bit defensive for a little bit, but then he got aggressive and did what he needed to do. Anytime you can beat an Isis without Isis using Ancestor's Eclipse means that you really played well against the Isis. The fact that he never had a decent opportunity to use it, I mean, he could have just used it right away, like here, as soon as he reaches Heroic and got a ton of villagers idle. I mean, better than not using it at all. But yeah, he just didn't want to ever use it defensively, and that was the only opportunity he ever really had to do, was use it defensively. And just, you see the boom, Domantas boom quite a bit faster, then just a lot of idle time from all of Count's gold gathering and losing that Pharaoh early. All right, so that is game one. Let me update my little scoreboard here. For Domantas is one. Do you have any thoughts about seeing Magic and Mista? Well, that's good. Always good to have the top players in because that encourages a lot of people to watch. And just like any sport, which I mean, I guess you really can't consider Age of Mythology to be really a sport. There's no real like professional scene, but just like in any competitive atmosphere, when you got the best players playing, it just makes it just makes it for more interest. I mean, you watch the NFL, who do you want to watch? The Jets versus the Dolphins, or Patriots versus Pittsburgh? Tom Brady, he's a GOAT. So that's game one. But yeah, anytime the best players are playing, it's a good time. Good time for all, though it means people like me have even less of a chance of winning in tournaments, but that's alright. Okay, so now we're moving on to game two, and we are on Alfheim. You had lunch today with a former ensemble person. That's cool. It is a little slow around here because we got Chemo streaming right now, and most people would rather watch Chemo, who's pretty good play. Only two starting deer. We got, he does have back deer. Actually, these aren't deer at all. These are, what is this, caribou or elk? Elk, yeah, not caribou at all. Deer up there. Just moderate hunt for Alfheim. Alfheim could kind of be pretty flexible as far as hunt amounts. It can go from a lot to a little, and this is kind of towards the middle. You're going to see your a lot hunt when you get your aurochs spawning, and then instead we don't get the aurochs at all. We get the elk. Yeah, you talk about ensemble. I actually used to play with the guy, Mr. Milo, quite a bit, who ended up getting hired by them, I think right after Age of Empires 3, maybe a year after AoE 3 came out. I used to be pretty good in AoE 3 right when it came out, but then I started going to college and didn't really have much chance to play. But there was a tournament early on in Age of Empires 3 where I think the top 4 went to a LAN final, in wherever their base was. What was it? Somewhere in Texas. And I think he was one of the 4 finalists, if I'm not mistaken. I ended up losing, I think, the round before to a guy. Well, I think that guy ended up winning. It was some guy I never even heard of before, and I don't know, I guess he was good or cheated, or easier to say they cheat when they win. I remember the name. Most of the AOM guys, I think I maybe played with Swinger a couple games, but most of mine, I didn't really play with most of them, because I didn't start really playing Age of Mythology until right before Titans came out, like 2 or 3 months before. Anyway, for the game itself, we got Tusk of the Iron Board, increases cavalry and archer hit points. That's a good one for Isis, and it's right next to the Isis base. We've also got Gold Gathers Faster. That's a nice Isis relic. The Osberg Wagon, that's a nice Isis relic. And the Blue Crystal Shard. Nice selection of relics here. I do remember Josie Wales. I didn't know if he worked for Ensemble, but I played games with him quite a bit. As far as the map itself, we have a little bit less hunt this game than the previous game, which definitely helps the Isis player. Because really the Isis just needs enough hunt to age up, and then the more hunt it is, the easier it is for 80s to get their boom in. I would think we would probably see a similar game to the game before, but hopefully counts a little bit faster, doesn't lose his early Pharaoh. Because I think he advanced like 820 or something last game, and that's pretty slow. What I do see though is that actually this hunt pack here is technically Count's hunt. This is Count's deer, and Domantas is kind of stealing it. It's kind of actually spawned a little bit closer to Domantas anyway. Well, yeah. Problem is we got this forest and then this cliff that's blocking Count. Yeah, Count doesn't have a good amount of hunt to fall back to, actually. This isn't a lot, but you got the berries and the chicken. One thing I do like here, though, is a lot of times when you usually see lower skilled players that they will undervalue walking time and send, instead of having these villagers here on the berries, they'll have sent all of these villagers up here to the hunt, which there's just not enough hunt to go around for all these vills, so it's nice that he split this up. Boy, we got Domantas with a very early hero out this game, which he looks like he's just forcing Count off of hunt. I'm kind of surprised he's just moving all of his vills off like that. Like, he really could have just sent the one that's getting targeted away and then send the next one that's getting targeted away. But I guess he just opted to send all of them away. So actually a pretty decent start for Domantas for finding that, because Count, again, does not have any hunt to fall back on. In fact, he's going to be going purely to chickens, cows, or berries, which is significantly slower gather rate than hunt. So that's a nice turn of events for Domantas, especially because he is technically stealing Count's hunt already. And he's up with Athena. What is he going to do? It looks like he'll probably do the exact same thing as before. Let's grab a town center soon, I think. It is... He is getting this town center, which, unlike the last game, this one does not really secure anything of value. Trees are just trees, but all of his gold mines are in front of this town center, although he could put a few... Really just needs to get a wall here and a wall here, and it's fairly defended. But I guess he didn't go to this town center either, because really this town center doesn't protect a gold mine either. No relics getting gathered, though. I would think the... I don't know if Count scouted. No, he did not. Oh, that's why. Count has not scouted a single relic, which is why he's not getting one. But yeah, I used to play quite a bit with the KS players. There was Josie Wales and Death, I remember. I played with quite a bit. Taking a lot of damage on his hero here for no real reason. So Domantas did get that Caravan's cheaper relic. Does Count? Okay, he did get husbandry. Good to see. Makes your vills gather faster. He's trying to get up to heroic by at least 8 minutes. Okay, so we do see Domantas putting a wall here. I assume he will follow up with a wall there as well. I wonder if he will. He should send these vills down to this hunt. Let's see if he does that. Oh, he's getting the other relic too. Oh no, he's not. Ooh. I feel like he has the time and opportunity. He should have gone to this hunt instead of going to his base for chicken instead. Because you know the Isis, especially when you push him off of hunt early, not going to get to heroic until about at least 8 minutes. So yeah, he could have been down here. Oh, now see, sending these villagers up here. A little bit of an inefficient walking time kind of a deal, where could have sent these vills down here and then just had villagers from his town center going up to the chicken and berries. But yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit ticky-tack. What kind of eco upgrades does he have? What is... It seems... Oh, he's doing double stable this game instead of a stable archery range. I feel like you almost need the archers, though, to pick off, like, the pharaoh and priests. Because it only gives him one ranged unit, being Chiron, to deal with the myth units. And actually, pharaoh and priests will be able, and the chariots will be able to get this. And hippocons are really expensive units, but they die pretty easily to scorpion men, although it looks like Count's only got one monument. Kind of with actually Count's line of sight of these units here is actually pretty huge, because it means that he can just not do. He can build his Migdol up here. This is actually pretty significant. Just this obelisk here that Domantas did not see, so Count knew that he could just come up here and safely build his Migdol because all this army is here. And this was kind of maybe the natural gold mine that Domantas thought that Count would move to, but obviously with the line of sight that Count had, he just bypassed this completely and went up here. And we might end up seeing this damage to Chiron coming in pretty big later on, because you really only need like 2 chariots, 3 chariots, and then a pharaoh would actually kill Chiron pretty quickly. And so if he's like banking on an Ancestor's or defending Ancestor's Eclipse, if Chiron's dead and Ajax, who's also kind of at 3/4 health, and they die right away, he's going to have nothing to kill the minions. This is a little overkill on the hunt. When I kind of touched on earlier, is you need to value walking time for your villagers. Having all of these up here is a lot of walking time to go all the way up here and then all the way back. Whereas he probably could have just sent 5 instead of the 10. Because it seems Domantas is quite a bit slower in getting his army this game. And we actually see now that Count is able to be offensive, and we'll be able to at least continue that for now, for a while, especially because unlike last game, Domantas does not quite have the hero health to kill all of these myth units. Kind of would like to see a second monument from Count, because Scorpion men are really strong. How much resources does Count have? Nope, not a lot. You can get a second. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can't get a second Scorpion man. He's got the favor now. Kind of a little bit of a stalemate, and also the map itself. This also does lend better into the ISIS defense. I mean, you got so many choke points that the long-range chariots can just fall back into, and then with just the siege tower meat shield, can defend pretty easily. We might end up seeing, kind of like last game where Domantas had the killer push on Count's gold, we might see the opposite here, with Count pushing Domantas off of a gold, maybe. So far not doing a lot, Count has the military advantage here. And actually, Domantas not getting that 3rd town center is going up 2 town center to heroic. I don't like that. That's 1,300 resources that he's going to spend just to get a god power that kills about 7-6 full HP Migdol units. I don't think it's worth it. He probably should have stayed classical and popped out on his army. Maybe he thought he couldn't get this town center if he stayed classical, I'm not sure. But this is a really strong push, and actually, if he can use Ancestor's Eclipse before the curse comes out, like right now, right away, ooh. A little bit behind, but again, we just have these. He needs to target the heroes, though. Move these chariots in, get the heroes, because they're going to be the ones that are going to stop your push here. But actually, the heroes are kind of way out of position, chasing after just this. This is a really strong push in the town center. And the minions, even the minions, do really well against Hippocon. I don't know if he's going to kill it, though, because Hades' buildings are so strong. Watch out for your Scorpion Man there. You don't want him to die. Is he going to get the town center? We kind of got the villagers. Yeah, he is going to get it. It's a lot of siege towers. I'm actually kind of surprised he got that. Not over, but losing your main town center really does hurt. And he probably lost a lot of villagers. I didn't see how many villagers he lost, but I'm sure he lost a lot of vills in that. And just to me, hindsight's 2020. I feel like the 1,300 resources he put into aging up would have been better spent on army. Or grabbing this town center plus army. Because, I mean, you just kind of look into what did he get out of spending the 1,300 resources. You got the free Nemean Lion, which died pretty quickly to Priests and Pharaoh. And then he got Curse, which is usually about about 6 or 7 full HP Migdal units, which I think he would have been better served staying classical there. And now he's going to have a hard time killing the long-range chariots, because he just doesn't have a cavalry mass anymore. And chariots kind of handily beat Toxotes, and also with the meat shield, they actually do pretty decently against Hippocon as well. Surprised he doesn't have the Pierce Armor upgrade, though. I guess I think it looks like his blacksmith is dead, so he can't even get that. Yeah, if Domantas would have held his main town center, which he probably could have if he would have sent a few more vills down to kill the siege towers. Because he had all these chopping wood here. I mean, you get those 6 villagers on the siege towers at the town center, and he probably could have held. He might end up being forced to use restoration here in a little bit. He's not making very many military units. You gotta use resto. There you go. Use your vills to kill the siege towers, so. Yeah, just not enough Hippocon to get through these chariots. And we're gonna have a 1-to-1 series here. Yeah, not quite enough Hippocon. He really almost could have just... Again, hindsight's 2020, but if you're going to lose your town center anyway, fighting Ancestors Eclipse is definitely not worth it. Like, he could have just fell back, lost his town center, kept his whole army, and then won the battle afterwards. But, you know, he's trying not to lose his town center, so... That's kind of always the quandary you get when you're facing the Isis fast heroic siege Ancestors Eclipse push, is do you fall back and just concede the town center and assume you'll win after, or do you feel like you can hold your town center and win based off of that? And he thought he could hold his town center and he didn't, and just put him just so far behind. He's kind of defending, but we see in the back end that Count's got his second town center and he's grabbing a third. While Domantas is still only at 1, and Domantas still cannot quite get his main town center and just keeps losing his units. No Pierce armor. Like you see, complete Pierce damage here except for your two camels, and you need to get your Pierce armor upgrades. But his blacksmith has got killed, so he can't. But always get your Pierce armor upgrade first when you're up against Egyptians. So that is game 2. We are tied up 1-to-1. So far, a couple nice games. This actually thought it might end up going on the gold mine here, but actually Count just pushed right through and just did the man push through the enemy base. Hooey. A random wall down here. As far as the economy, you see Domantas quite a bit ahead, but the military kill loss. Yeah, if he just concedes that town center, he's still in the game. But yeah, you just never know. It's a tough decision to make in game. Do you concede the town center and fall back, or do you fight it? And he fought it, and that ended up being the wrong. All right, so game 3. Again, we haven't iced this Hades, and now on Savannah. Quite the collection of maps, land maps here. We went from Ghost Lake, which is wide open, to Alfheim, which is not open at all, to Savannah, which is another wide open map. And players will be desperately looking for their first hunt, and we have Domantas was able to run his scout right to his first hunt, so that is good for him. And Count will be looking for his hunt, and he is going to get line of sight of it as soon as he gets that obelisk done. And actually he is finding his big pack of giraffe as soon as this obelisk gets up with it. I think it was like 8. Yep, 8 giraffes. So we've got a 3 giraffe spawn and an 8 giraffe spawn, which is right here for Mr. Domantas, and then he will have, Count will have a 3 giraffe spawn somewhere. There it is. And quite the heavy hunt right in this kind of sector right here, leading into very, very forward town centers. Very forward. In fact, Domantas is very close to the middle of the map, and Count's is just a little bit to the left. I like Savannah. It's a very aggressive map, especially with the high hunt thing here. Where are these villas gathering from? I hope they didn't walk all the way back from here. Okay, so now we've got Count transitioning to his hunt. And he has to have a few on here yet to continue villager production. Does have hunting dogs. I would assume Domantas has hunting dogs too. Savannah always has a ton of hunt. You just have to find it. And there will be some rhinos as well scattered on the map. The rhinos in place of the elephants this time around. Savannah can actually get 3 elephants spawned. Like, spawn with 3 elephants. That's a lot of hunt in one place. Same thing with a giraffe. I mean, each giraffe, 300 food, so 8 times 3 is 24. Look at me go. The math whiz over here. I used to love speed drills when I was young. Remember I went to college, and I had to take a math class, so I just took they call it consumer math, which just meant basic, like 8th grade, or not even 8th grade, basic 6th grade math. And I felt really bad. There was some poor girl who sat right behind me who, I don't know why she told this to me, but told me she failed the class her first time, and this was her second go around. I couldn't believe it, because we're talking 6th grade class in college, and it really confused me. Why she would tell me that, and why she would be failing it. Like, Anyway, how do we get on that subject? I'm not sure, but I just remembered it, and it really... If she were hot, I probably would have like tutored her, but she wasn't. As far as gameplay here, I'd assume we're going to see kind of a variation of what we've seen in the first few games. The Ice is Fast Heroic and the Domantas push. I would think with him losing the second game in the way he did, he will probably not do his semi-fast heroic and instead just do the full army 3-town center classical like he did the first game. Hopefully he'll be able to keep his hunt to fall back, and if he can keep his hunt, he'll have enough eco to keep his 3-town center. Boom. But a very forward town center, like that is great location for Mr. Count to get his early, fast, heroic push on. She'll be interesting. I wonder if Domantas will go for the same thing as last game and maybe hope he can do it a little more efficiently, or if he will stay with what he did the first game. So how is Domantas scouting? Okay, he does have this hunt scouted. That is his hunt. So where will he send these vills? Is he going to go down there? It looks like it. Kind of trying to bypass these ravenous lions who take very poor pathing and take a while to decide that they're even going to chase after the villagers. But here we go. Yep, he's going right to the middle. We'll probably want to build his... Ooh, kind of a slow advance. 5-minute advance. Not sure why he's not training his hero before he advances. Just to get kind of that even initial early pressure. Wow, this is an interesting temple here. He clearly does not want to get pushed off of this hunt, so he's put this wall here in his temple here, but he did leave a little gap right here, which actually could be a bit of a problem. I'm assuming we will see, yes, the 2 heroes getting made and then the Minotaur coming down. If Count assumes this is safe and plays accordingly, he could kind of be in a bit of trouble if Domantas just goes past down here and realizes that there is an opening. In fact, I'm wondering if he has that scouted. Oh, he does. He does know there is that opening there. So I wonder if he'll come down here, see all this, maybe kill the obelisk, and then like circle around and all of a sudden kind of like, "Paha! Here I am!" I would be interested to see if he does that. Which would really hurt Count, because he's likely not going to really defend this too well, because he's going to assume he has this wall all walled off. So here comes the first Minotaur. Well, the only Minotaur. He's going to hopefully fall back here. What's up, Sicaro? And he will fall back. Watch your priest here, though. Ooh, you don't want to lose your priest like this. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, he reassigned Chiron to attack the gate for some reason, and now he's losing his Minotaur. This is a bit of confusing unit management there. He probably could have actually killed that. He knows this is here. I wonder why he's pushing so hard on this silly gate. And just losing his Minotaur just like that. He's probably assuming this was walled off too. And which is why maybe he was doing that. But the units are always smarter than the player. Like if you were just to task them here, they would automatically walk around because they would know it's open. Okay, so he is now killing the obelisk. I wonder if he will then run around and come popping in now that he has eliminated that line of sight. Though actually, with Count getting that obelisk up, oh, he's realizing it. Oh, he gets it just in time. He realized something was afoot when the units came running around this way. I liked it. He's falling back now, though, so I think he's getting ready to, get his big prosperity push here. Domantas kind of scuffed this a little bit. Actually, if he would have gone around right away, but I guess he didn't know. That's alright. And what is Domantas doing? Is he going to be aging up to heroic like he tried the second game? It looks like... I'm going to say no. Okay, so Count is going to this back gold mine here, but actually, Domantas found this. Is he going to keep pushing down here? Count, really late, actually never used his prosperity, so he can't grab an immediate town center, and he is going to have to run these vills off. That scout placement there was huge. Oh, man. Idle villager time. Watch out your hippogons here. Okay, alright. Interesting Migdol placement, though. Is it Migdol or Midgol? Migdol. I always get that dyslexic a little bit. But, kind of surprised he's building his Migdol here because it's not protecting anything. With his Sphinx and Scorpion Man, he could have built it at least right here and kind of provided something to defend his gold mine. But watch your units. There you go. There we go. Get damage in. It's great. Yeah, so we got this second gold mine here, which is very far back. But man, those villagers were in that town center for a very long time. What's Domantas doing? All this extra hunt we can see is allowing Domantas to get to where he wants to be a little bit faster than the previous game. He also doesn't have his hero at half hit points either. Ooh, a little bit of a raid though. He should actually be able to... Count should be able to win this. But okay, manage your army a little bit there. There you go. Get to... Yep. Now he's just got to run. Because if the rest of his army out of position, he's got to move his villagers off. And he did not ever scout those two rhino right there. So he doesn't know they're there. But, gotta watch your Scorpion Man, though. The Chiron with the patch buff does have the speed to catch up to the Scorpion Man now. Oh, he can maybe kill that. Oh, just runs right past. Running past to get at this unprotected gold mine. We've got in this one left. It's 200, and he's again forcing more idle villager time. Like, even if he doesn't build a Migdol here, Count could have just finished this wall, and this raid would not have happened. Losing one villager, two villager, and only being at one town center. Those villagers are pretty important. And Count trying to do a little bit of a counter raid, but Domantas got his base really well defended. And one thing I did not touch on yet is this back gold mine all the way back here. Count doesn't even have that scouted and might not ever scout it, so yeah, this is about as safe as a gold mine as you will ever see on Savannah. And we have Ancestors Eclipse. I'm not quite digging this Ancestors Eclipse use. Because it's not really initially placed on the economy. And it's not to, like, with this push either, so... And especially we got all these minions following this army here. Like, this is a waste of an Ancestor's Eclipse. I mean, he is getting some kills on the... With these buffed myth units, some kills on the Hippocon here, but... His minions are doing absolutely nothing. Like, he might as well just have used Eclipse without Ancestors at all for what he's getting out of the Ancestors. And the Ancestors Eclipse, when you're the one town center Isis, that's your power play. And when you're using it not as a power play, you can really find yourself in some trouble later on because, you know, he's going to be behind economically. Nice little raid here. Well, I mean, yeah, you don't want to, but I kind of disagree with that though. You don't want to use Ancestor Eclipse to place your Migdol because then you don't have it to push it all. But the problem was, why not use his cheat code? Good question. The problem was that he built his Migdol here, which protects nothing, when he could have built it somewhere better, or at least finished walling this off so that he's not getting raided all the time. And now is forcing him to use a different gold mine, which is up here. And Count probably doesn't have the gold right now really to afford making more...
Into you.
as a more thing. I guess maybe you use those Ancestors Eclipse as a way to get both of these town centers. But I kind of feel like with how the game was going is that he probably could have gotten these town centers maybe anyway without having to use Ancestors Eclipse. One thing that is helping him though is that Domantas is really losing a lot of Hippocons to these Scorpion men. And for some reason gathering forward from his wood when he's got all this wood back here. I mean, sometimes, you know, if you can gather your resources safely, you might as well. And so we do have Domantas up heroic now. A little bit slower of a heroic than the game before. Just so he could actually... I feel like he probably learned a little bit from his last game, is that the fast heroic doesn't really give him a whole lot. But now we've got just one... Count's got all this pop room. And now he's getting the second town, or Migdol, but he's only got one Migdol making units. And he's only sitting at 99 of 154 pop. He does have both these town centers, although actually it's Hades. I almost feel like Domantas could just kind of just do some harass and go up with Artemis and just earthquake the crap out of this, and then we have Count back down to one military building and just one town center. But okay, he's wanting to get this Scorpion man killed, but not quite, and he is keeping these villagers idle. I mean, I now kind of have the question of why is he trying to mine from this very forward gold mine when he has this mine back here that would be perfectly defensive as soon as he finishes his 20 gold wall. But sitting here as the kind of the omniscient recorded game watcher is easy to see, but I think Domantas is going up to Mythic Age. Yeah, he's already, in fact, what is that covered up by my chat? What is that, 65%? And that earthquake will take out one town center, two Migdol, and then we're seeing he still has Underworld. So actually, he could use Underworld if he wanted to, if he got line of sight down here to take his back town center, which actually, I'm wondering if that was this villager's goal here, is to get line of sight of that back back town center. But how about you fight? There you go. Alright, now we're going to see Eclipse, or not Eclipse, yeah, Earthquake. We'll get Town Center and Migdol, forcing all of this to be idle. All of the chariots are also killed. Earthquake actually does damage 2 units as well. Though it does damage your own units, but it does more to the enemy. But yeah, we see Count just has no eco. Only one military building, and he might be able to hold this initially, but I feel like Domantas's superior economy will be kicking in very soon. Yeah, I would like to see the Underworld to get that gold mine, or that town center. How we do it for eco upgrades? Ooh, Count's really not got any eco upgrades, and Domantas got bunches. Uh-oh. Oh. This is the playground for... Oh, that special just does so much damage. Oh, man. Chimera raids are just so satisfying, and I don't even know if Count is going to notice this beforehand. And actually, this is a really strong push right here, and I don't know if Count does not have any gold. We have restoration as well, and he is still playing down there in the playground. This is not looking good for Count. I mean, he's way behind. We're gonna have another special used here, or he already did. Oh, that special on villagers is just so satisfying. I can't. Words cannot express. So wow, Domantas. I would say this is an upset victory for Domantas to defeat Count like this. But Domantas winning, and actually the two games he won fairly easily. Although Count also won the game he won fairly easily. What you might ask, what could Count have done differently? Well, the back gold mine is hard to push. Domantas played better defensively, so I don't think a one town center fast heroic ancestors eclipse push would have worked. I feel like here Count needed to use prosperity sooner. He did a very late prosperity. It was actually well after he got to heroic age. He needed to use an early prosperity so that as soon as he aged up, he could get his Migdal and his town center. Because if you're not going to do your heavy Ancestors Eclipse push, then you need to get a town center. And he didn't do either. He just kind of did nothing for a while. He used the Ancestors Eclipse later on to get himself his town centers, but by then it was too late. And Domantas had a huge eco upgrade, and Swoop in chat says Count played Terra bad. I mean, we're just looking at, you just look at this eco here. Those early raids on his gold really hurt Count. The late, I mean, that 9-minute prosperity, like, it should be right here, so that as soon as he ages up, he's getting his Migdal and his town center. Like, we're seeing his first settlement. Domantas at 6 minutes, or a little before, and almost 5.5 minutes later is Count's, and he's just so far behind economically that he just can't catch up, even though he gets 3 with his Ancestors Eclipse, but it's just too late. And by then, if you're not going to do your early fast heroic push, you got to get your town center right away. So, not too efficient of gameplay here. But it's very easy to be critical on recorded games because you can see everything. I don't want to be overly critical. I mean, geez, there's a reason why I don't watch my recorded games, because I'd probably have to turn them off halfway through because I couldn't take it anymore. So, Count's a good player. It's easy to point out mistakes when you're watching from your computer chair, or in my case, my folding chair that is not a computer chair. After the fact. What time is it? So as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I'm an old man and I'm taking naps now in the middle of the day, which I took today because I was really tired. That's what kids do to you. I might have time to play a game or two if there is a game to be played. For those few that are in the chat, I do appreciate it. I would assume Chemo is probably maybe still streaming, so it's keeping my numbers down. How dare he? Yeah, he is. Well, that's alright. He's a lot. Chemo versus Redo. How can you really turn down those games? Anyway, let's see if I can get a game here. 3v3, 1v1. Chemo on 24. I was gonna say, I thought I saw him on like earlier today, and he's still streaming, and it's like in the middle. It's, what is it, 6 a.m. his time now or something? I don't know what kind of a schedule that man's on, but more power to him, I suppose. Let me. I guess I will switch off to overlay. Sure, why not? And I will just do a little brief. What am I typing here? I'll just put this in. All right, 24 hours. He's going on 14. Holy cow. Oh, to be young. without any responsibilities. I have to pee. I'll be right back. Alrighty. We'll try to find a game. Or something. I don't know if there's anybody in chat who wants to play. I would play. Could maybe have time for one game. Or two, depending on how fast I lose. If anybody's got any questions, you can throw them in the chat. I would like to point out, we do have Hearts Yes League starting up again. That is our clan tournament. Hopefully we'll get that going in a couple weeks to get some more team tournaments. When is the 24-hour stream? Well, I think the 24-hour stream might have had to have occurred a long time ago, before I was married. So we're talking, dang it, how long have I been married? Uh-oh. I have the marriage certificate right here. I better look this up in case she asks me. Alright, it says here, original certificate of marriage. We are looking at June of 2012. Holy cow, it's been almost 7 years. Man. So yeah, you would have had to see that 24-hour stream 7 years at least before here, because my wife would never have approved of it. Can you believe, though? Maybe I could have done it and gotten away with it when she went to Costa Rica, like, last year, without me. So you talk about scams. Ooh, I need to hurry and get in this game. I'll tell you about a scam that my wife pulled. So she does kind of, part of the time, she does like home care for a disabled lady. Man, this is funny. So it's like a few hours a week. And the disabled lady got an invite from her family member to a destination wedding in Costa Rica. And everybody assumed that she wouldn't go to it because A, she's disabled, B, doesn't have a lot of money, and C, the wedding is in Costa Rica. And she needs, based on her disability, she needs a lot of care, and none of the family was willing to, like, I mean, her family, they must not, I don't know, they're kind of mean, but they weren't going to take care of her or help her on the trip. It's kind of rub it in her face. Say, hey, you can't go on this destination wedding. Haha, sucks to be you. So this lady paid for my wife to go to Costa Rica to the wedding for her just so she could put it in her family's faces that she was still going to the wedding. So my wife got a free vacation out of it. And I'm left at home watching camp for like 5 days. But I really got it. That really, the whole concept really entertained me when it was going on. And yeah, you hear about these scams all the time where these, well, maybe you people don't, my wonderful viewers, but I do, where you got home care workers taking complete advantage of the people they're working for. And then I got my wife getting a free vacation to Costa Rica. I should investigate my wife. But yeah, what a... really, really entertained me. Alright, we got a 3v3 growing. I'm guessing this guy wanted me to play Zeus, so I will play Zeus. Okay, here we go. Zeus. Yes, Zeus. Alright. You have to move this a little bit over so it's not blocking crap. There we go. That looks good. Make sure I got this all looking good. Okay, I do. Are you even here, Sakaro? Maybe somebody else wants something else. Though nobody's even said anything, so. 24-hour stream, man. Swoop wants Norse. Probably nobody else wants Norse other than whoever my opponents will be. Jeez, I hope this left shift doesn't lag. I am happy to announce, though. Recently, I've noticed my computer has been struggling when I stream. I cleaned out the vents on my computer, which were pretty dusty, and it seems like it's a lot happier now. Let's see what my temperatures are right now. Oh, maybe it's still high. Is this still high? I don't know. Maybe it's helped a few degrees. But I haven't heard it getting all loud and annoying. Play Hades then. Man, I just watched 3 Hades games. Whatever, I'm gonna go Zeus. So it is close though, at 80. Someone was telling me to put redo the paste in the heat sinks. Why am I rating red ping? So far I've only dropped 43 frames. I hope this guy doesn't lag. That would kind of suck. You know what? It's not 6 years old. Let's see. I got it, I think 2 years ago. But it was a refurbished, so I don't know if they would have refurbished it or like redone the. Probably not. So I don't really know how old it is. Dang it! Of all the stupid maps. AMD. Do you mean? I'm not a computer guy. Do you mean the... I'm probably going to sound really stupid if I ask what you mean without asking, you know, saying something. Like AMD video card, or...
Πρόσεχε, έτοιμη. Βούλομαι. Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσταγμα. Ορθός. Πρόσταγμα. Ορθός.
The computer itself is a Dell.
Πρόσεχε, μάλιστα. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Λέγε. Ορθός. Ορθός. Βούλομαι. Πρόσταγμα. Βούλομαι. Βούλομαι. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Ορθός. Παν. Ορθός. Λέγε. Έτοιμο. Πρόσεχε. Πρόσταγμάνι.
This guy's trying to... I need the pigs more than he does.
Λέγε. Βούλομαι. Ορθός. Λέγε. Μάλιστα. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure which one it is. The terrible pig placement here. Need to get him closer. Oh my god, I got a Thor and I got a Gaia. Alright, here's when you're Gaia, give your trees to your allies. Yeah, I think it has been auto-throttling. I think that's what it was doing. But non-Gaia gather faster, get more benefit from the trees than Gaia actually does. Like, the gather rate is higher for non-Gaia. So he should have given me the trees, his first set of trees. So then I wouldn't have even had to build my, I'm taking an idle. I wouldn't have even had to build this storehouse. Need to get my temple building. Okay, I know I'm gonna have some more fish down there. Ooh, kill him, kill him. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. I always like to kill the pesky scouts. Okay, because that is somebody's. They got a scout that's going to be getting an underworld later on. The first player I remember with I am in front of my name, or in front of the name. Shoot. I mean, that's been going on for a long time. Back when I played Age of Empires 2, in like 2001, there were people doing that. So, 2001, on the Zone, MSN Zone, people were putting I am in front of their name. And like, one expert did it, so then of course all the noobs, like me, also did it. You think the top of my game is cut? What do you mean? It is.
Έτοιμη. Λέγε, ναι, βούλομαι. Μεταλλεύς, μάλιστα.
Oh jeez. Got some lag here. Yeah, I fixed it.
Πρόσεχε.
Did the frames get low when I minimized and maximized?
Λέγε. Προσβολή.
Let's kill that other scout here.
Έτοιμη. Βούλομαι. Πρόσταγμα. Έστω. Λέγε. Μάλιστα.
Need another bill or two on gold.
Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσταγμα.
Okay, so I came up here because
Λέγε.
of the... Oh man, yellow is really wasting a lot of boats here.
Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος.
Because of pestilence on the docks. Yes. You're always full of
Λέγε.
very good advice. I don't know what this team is doing with their boats, but they aren't fighting in unison, that's for sure. Green is even healing his boats with his Caladri. I like it. Oop, now I need to fall back.
Πρόσταγμα.
Try to get him all the way up. Wish green would, or blue would come down and fight, because this is a winning fight for us.
Λέγε. Έτοιμος.
Just because they're just shooting at
Έτοιμος.
fishing boats for some reason.
Έτοιμος.
I need some more.
Πρόσεχε.
We'll go down here.
Μάλιστα. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Έτοιμος.
Shoot the back one.
Έτοιμος.
We could fight because I have
Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε.
restoration.
Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος.
Fight, blue, fight.
Λέγε.
They have to fall back.
Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα.
If we are winning the fight, I'm not going to cast Resto.
Έτοιμος.
Oh, now he's running again.
Λέγε.
I guess I could tell him.
Πρόσταγμα.
But purple is getting absolutely smashed over here, so I don't really even need to use Restro anyway.
Πρόσταγμα. 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 Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Λέγε.
Alright, we need to keep on pushing.
Πρόσεχε. Πρόσταγμα.
This is a winning fight, so I'm not going to waste my Resto. I'm going to transition now to
Πρόσταγμα. Ναι.
my town centers.
Έτοιμος.
Blue is just kind of waiting in.
Έτοιμος.
What is blue doing?
Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος. Έτοιμος. Λέγε.
Okay, get town center number 1.
Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος.
Okay, fight.
Λέγε. Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος.
Ooh, okay. I will just slide on up past.
Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα. 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 Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Έτοιμος.
Λέγε, πρόσταγμα, έστω, βούλομαι, το βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Ναι.
Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Λέγε.
Need a granary somewhere.
Έτοιμη. Ναι. Έστω. Πρόσεχε.
Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα.
Okay, I don't know what Blue's doing. He needs to be pushing up here.
Λέγε.
Actually, I will be right back. I gotta.
Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε, ναι.
Λέγε.
Well, maybe I won't. So we're trying to get our baby to start sleeping on her belly, which she doesn't necessarily like a whole lot.
Έτοιμος, έστω.
Έτοιμη.
Έτοιμος, βούλομαι.
And she woke up and started to cry, but now she stopped again.
Έτοιμος.
Blue did not have too many votes.
Έτοιμος, μάλιστα.
Alright,
Λέγε.
yeah, I'm just gonna be right back. Alright.
Έστω, βούλομαι.
Πρόσεχε. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε.
My team needs me. No, they're fine.
Πρόσεχε. Έστω. Πρόσταγμα. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα. Έστω. Μάλιστα. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα, πρόσεχε, λέγε, ναι.
Έτοιμος.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Έτοιμη. Έτοιμη. Μάλιστα. Μάλιστα. Έτοιμη. Πρόσεχε.
Λέγε.
Έτοιμη. Έτοιμη. Ναι. Βούλομαι. Ναι. Μάλιστα. Ναι. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι. Μάλιστα. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα. 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 Έτοιμος. Έτοιμος.
Okay, well, his whole brood of boats is just chasing mine.
Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα.
Oh,
Λέγε.
they turned to fight.
Λέγε. 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 Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα,
Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσεχε.
πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα.
My eco upgrades.
Λέγε.
Build a Marquette.
Ναι, ναι.
Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος. Λέγε.
Πρόσταγμα.
Έτοιμος. Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος.
Λέγε. Ναι, βούλομαι. Βούλομαι.
Λέγε. Πρόσεχε. Ρητόμος.
Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα.
I feel like I should not be making boats.
Λέγε. Έτοιμη. Βρυτόμος. Πρόσταγμα. Ναι. Βούλομαι.
Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Βούλομαι.
Λέγε.
Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος.
Oh, come on. They're fighting too hard. The enemy is fighting too hard on water now. Anyway, they aren't gonna win. I mean, they might win the water, but it's too late because our ecos are already established, and I'm gonna use Underworld to get this town center there. These idiots.
Βούλομαι.
Λέγε. Μάλιστα.
Λέγε. Βούλομαι. Ορθός.
Πρόσεχε. Έστω.
Έτοιμος. Ορθός. Έτοιμος. Καλός. Βόλη.
Λέγε.
Έτοιμη. Έτοιμη. Βρυτόμος.
Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα. Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε.
Έτοιμος. Ρητόμος.
It's kind of the game is done anyway.
Πρόσεχε. Ναι.
Έτοιμος. Ορθός. Βούλομαι. Λέγε. Λέγε.
Yeah, we would go on to win this pretty handily anyway. Like, they're just going way too hard on water. So at this point, when each player is really realistically getting like 9 efficient fishing spots, which even late game fish isn't even efficient anyway. Fish isn't efficient. What's the point? They're spending all of these resources to win the fish back. It's just not worth it. And yeah, as soon as I age up, I'm gonna Underworld or Earthquake this dude's base, and it's game over, man. Game over. All right, that was quick. I'll really stay up late. I'll play one more game, but I'm gonna step away for a minute, and then I'll be back. I'm back. No, I was actually checking in on the baby. I did not pee. I'm not that old. This guy cryptically messaged me, "Bro, can you help me? I have a problem." To which I responded, "I suggest Viagra." I assume that's what he meant by a problem. Otherwise, he would have actually said what his problem was. You know, okay, the guy speak. Yeah, I got a problem. He's been waiting in an answer from the forum from Vubli for days. What is this thing he's waiting for? Alright, let's see. Oh, jeez, he just needs his 30 points back from this game that his opponent disconnected in. Jeez, I thought he actually had a problem. It's not a problem. It's just an inconvenience. His Nigerian friends needs help transferring money. You would not believe the things that people fall for. Oh, it's so ridiculous. And then they call the police department and expect that we're gonna like get their money back for them. Like, you sent it some dude overseas. What in the world do you think I'm gonna do for you? But the amount of money that these people send. The big one now is like, hey, you won $2 million. However, before we could send you any money, you need to send us $500 so that we can get you your money. And in order to do that, we need you to go to Walmart or Walgreens and buy a prepaid Green Dot card and then just give us the numbers on the back of the card. Please, $500. And then, of course, they send them their numbers and they drain the account. And then, oh, sorry, we had a problem. We will need another $500 before we send you all this money. Back these fools go. $500 more dollars down the drain. Yeah, I don't. The home phone too. That's such a antiquated thing. Um, Another one is well, here's another popular one is Grandma gets a phone call. Hey, Grandma, it's Tom, your grandson. I'm in jail. I need you to bond me out. To which she may or may not even have a grandson named Tom, but then it's, oh no, you're in jail. Oh, what do you need to get out? Well, you need to, my bond is $1,000, but don't call the police department. No, 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 no. You need to go to Walmart and get an iTunes card. And just give it to me over the phone and they'll take it. And then that'll bond me out. To which poor old granny gets out of her nightie, takes off her little puppy dog's slippers and drives her 83 Buick to Walmart and gets a $500 Apple iTunes card. But, you know, I should be a scammer. I think I'd get, like, tired of it, like, calling people, though, because, like, it'd be awesome once you get that person that starts sending you money. Like, that would just be, like, I can't imagine the feeling that, like, oh, these idiots are sending me money. Yes! But, I don't know, the landing, I mean, it's kind of like fishing. The getting to that point would just be very, very boring. The best is calling these people though and telling them that the police are on them. Oh man, they just start like cussing me out and telling me they had sex with my mom and all sorts of stuff, and then laughing and giggling on the phone because of course they know I can't track these people. They're using, you know, they're off in Haiti or Lithuania or wherever. I wish we could get another person in this game to play, or two. Mm, you know, it is almost midnight. I'm gonna have to call it a night. I apologize, but I've got family. I'm already taking naps just so I can stay up this late. What am I gonna do? Take another nap tomorrow? So, yeah, I think that's gonna have to be it. I see Chemo is still playing. Man, wish I could do that. Actually, I probably don't. I don't know. Like, see, what has he been streaming? Like 14 hours in a row? Like, kind of like in everything. Man, I did drop a lot of frames, didn't I? When you start, holy cow, 1,200 drop frames. Like, I don't know if I could even play the same game for that long. Like, even after a few hours, it's like, that's enough. Like, even playing normally nowadays, like if I'm not streaming and like having like people to talk to, I could just, I don't know. There's just not much to keep me interested for that long. Like back when I was a teenager, I probably could, but now I don't think I could do it. Anyway, I'm gonna reset this fellow's and now everybody shows up, but I gotta go. I mean, if my wife finds out I'm up till midnight, she'll already be mad enough, but that's all right. So I do appreciate those of you who opted to watch me over Chemo. But you guys can go back to watching Chemo now. You'll probably be streaming when I wake up. So yeah, thanks for watching. What am I looking at as far as my next stream? Not sure. I work the weekend, so it might be. I mean, yeah, as you've noticed, for those of you who are my regulars, I've been a little bit, not as last couple weeks. Well, last week or so, I've not been quite as much here as before. But I'll probably be streaming a little bit more regular in a couple weeks. I'm gonna be switching to night shift at work, so that means I'll be up at night. So on my nights off, I'll probably be generally maybe doing a stream, but we'll see how night shift goes and what kind of schedule I end up sliding into as far as my schedule off of work. It's always tough. Night shift plus family just kind of sucks. But anyway, that is it. That is all. I'll catch all you guys later. It is now Thursday. You guys have a good Thursday and a Friday and then a good weekend, and I will see you guys when I see you guys. Hannibal Barca just subscribed for 6 months in a row. You know, it's like, how can I quit when that comes across my little chat log here? But Hannibal, I got family, man. Just can't do it. So, but I do appreciate the 6 month in a row subscription. Just because I can. You know, I'll put in a few of your Poseidon emotes just because. I mean, I don't even know if you're really here or not, or if you got it like automated. But oh, better turn this off. I'll throw down a few Poseidon emotes for you just because. Alrighty, he is here. Rogue Poseidon emotes have entered the stream. Oh man. Anyway, I do appreciate all of that. The subscriptions, the follows, just the views. I keep saying I'm gonna leave, but I'm not. But since I started streaming, like in this kind of style of stream, which I've been doing this now for a year and a half, I suppose. It's a lot more enjoyable than just like playing. So I do appreciate it. You guys kind of keep me playing because really, if I'm not streaming, I'm probably not playing because it's just not that fun. So yeah, you guys are the stream. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good weekend when it gets to that.